Hello, everybody. My name is Dan, aka Duckface, and I'm joined by Eddie
Yo, yo.
and Wes,
So,
and this is episode number 2 of the Delco FC podcast. So, Wes here decided to get the game. Now, he's been a regular mainstay on my stream and everything like that. He decided to get the game. He's been getting into it. He's been ripping packs with us. He's been playing the game, building squads, shuffling players. He actually made me, proud because that's how I usually play the game. I just shuffle my players constantly. But this year, I've been sticking with the team. And I'll explain why in a second. You'll see why it's pretty easy for me to stick with the team that I'm using. But today we're going to be talking about the Champions League, the current stuff that's going on with that. We're going to be talking about these promo cards, this market, the best players that we've played against, the best players that we've used so far, who you should avoid, how you should work the market, and so let's get right into it. In the Champions League, what's the club that has surprised you the most, Eddie?
In all of Champions League?
Yes.
Let's see. Honestly, I think I want to say Benfica.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I am correct, yeah, they haven't lost yet, and their draw today with PSG puts them tied with PSG, and that is a little surprising.
Yeah, I'm not as surprised about that because when we did our prediction, I said that I think PSG is going to choke. And they 2 wins and a draw is not exactly choking, but they drew to Benfica. And
Right.
Benfica also beat Juventus, which was pretty insane.
So then the only other one that I think you're going to say then has to be Bruges, right? Be top of the group.
Yeah, I
Go
mean,
right up against.
I forget what we said in the prediction with that, but I think that we said Bruges was actually going to make it through. Didn't we? Didn't we say Bruges? I thought we said Bruges was going to be the oddball to make it through.
I believe yes.
Yeah.
I believe at least one of us did.
I'm surprised with them, but honestly, I also want to say I'm surprised with Chelsea, and I know you're going to roll your eyes at that, but I'm surprised with Chelsea because all it took was a managerial switch and a striker, like everyone's been saying, and they actually look like a pretty good squad now. I think they actually look like a legitimate
but
team.
You said that they were going to make it out anyway, so like, and them being
They're not my biggest surprise, but I'm surprised by them because they actually look really good today. Now, granted, Milan doesn't have their best 11 out, all that yada yada. I get it, but all things considered, and also considered that there's a strong possibility in the winter window that we're picking up Christopher and Kunku.
I wouldn't count on that.
They look pretty good. They look pretty good.
Also, I wouldn't want to pick him up.
Why not?
In the winter window? He can't play Champions League.
Well, he can't play Champions League, but that's all right. Because as long as we secure Champions League next year, I'm good with that. Because I don't think we're going to win the Champions League this year, honestly. Especially with
the Champions League is what you care about.
I mean, yeah, I know, but I don't think we're winning it this year, regardless.
Okay.
To be honest with you, I mean, let's say best case scenario, we get to the final. Are we beating Man City?
Who says Man City gets to the final though?
All right, buddy. Okay, they have a 10 goal differential and they're undefeated right now.
Okay, and it's still Pep. He finds a way to screw it up with his tactical.
Dude, all he's got to do at this point is just keep Haaland in the game. It doesn't even matter what he does with De Bruyne. Just keep Haaland in the fucking game.
And who knows if he's going to do that?
Yeah.
The guy does all these tactical changes in the knockout stage that come back to bite him in the ass.
All right. So with that, my top surprise, of course, is Bruges. Benfica is also a really good choice. I mean, they look good. I mean, but those teams like them, Ajax, they always hold their own, even though they're kind of considered an underdog in certain circumstances.
I will say this: I also have a surprise, not in a good way though. Atletico Madrid.
Easily, yeah, easily.
They surprised me in a bad way.
Also, I was kind of surprised by Barcelona because they look like they were turning things around, and they've just been looking rough in Champions League. They've just been getting. I mean, granted, it's against Inter and Bayern, but at the same time, they look pretty rough. I mean, they look pretty rough. Like they were looking good for a while there, in the domestics, but God, they don't look good in Champions League.
I wouldn't say they don't look good. I mean, that was a close game yesterday against Inter. A couple calls on VAR for both sides could have changed it immediately.
Yeah, that's. I think there was a disallowed goal on both sides. If I'm
correct by VAR.
Yeah,
disallowed goal both ways.
Yeah. All right.
So like, plus, I mean, if you look at them, yeah, they've given up 4 goals, 1 goal to Inter. It was more the 2 goals to Bayern, I believe. Yeah, they lost
Hmm.
2-0 to Bayern. Same thing as Inter did.
Hmm.
So it's not like they're terrible position. Plus, they lost the game away. Like they didn't play Inter at the Camp Nou, so
I mean,
they do have
here's
that
also the thing
couple.
about Bruges though. They haven't allowed a single goal yet.
Oh yeah, that's what I said. Like
Yeah, and
seven goals for, none against.
yeah, that's insane. That's insanity. I mean, it's not their group is three pretty good teams. I mean, they're not like it's not like they're
Yeah,
playing shit. They're in a pretty decent. I mean, I don't know if it's not necessarily a group of death, but it's a good. I mean, the group of death is C in my opinion. Inter, Barcelona, Bayern, I think is the
exactly,
group of death.
100%.
Um, and then you have Real Madrid looking great as always. 1 goal against, 7 goals
Yeah.
for. I mean, that was no surprise there. PSG at the top of their table, tied with Benfica. I guess that is technically a surprise. Juventus,
Hmm.
5-5 goals for and goals against, but just not scoring them in the right times. Liverpool 2-1, not bad. Napoli, yeah, really Bruges and
Bruges and Benfica are my two big ones.
Benfica. Yeah, I mean Shakhtar looks decent actually.
I told you from the rip that Shakhtar is always tough in Europe.
Yeah, those Ukrainian teams are tough. And then what's it called? You said what was the other team? Victoria Polzin or no? Zagreb. There was
You're no, it's what you call it? It's not Champions League. They're Europa League. It was Red Star.
Red Star. Yeah, Red Star Belgrade. Well, you also saw the walk to the tunnel they have to take just to get to the pitch, right?
Yeah.
It's like a mile or something like that.
Yes.
It's pretty.
It's underground.
That's badass.
It's wild. Oh,
It's
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 oh, it
it's
is.
scary, and it's like a dungeon down there. It's scary, but
Wes,
But imagine the
their
hype
team,
going through the tunnel.
no, their team beat PSG. I believe it was 2 years ago, and they
Hmm.
celebrated by driving a tank through the center of the
what?
city.
Yeah, they don't fuck around over there. All right, so Ballon d'Or's coming up 2 weeks. We're gonna argue about this. This is gonna be the first argument on the podcast that we've
Oh,
had.
100%. Yep.
You feel we've debated about this for a week now. You feel that defenders don't get a fair shake. I agree. However, over the last 3 years, don't. I still am of the opinion, being completely objective here, that a defender is not the Ballon d'Or winner over the last 3 years. You
I
disagree with
think
me.
I think the year Chelsea wins the Champions League, I think uh Ruggier, they don't win it without Ruggier back there. I think he was more instrumental than their offense. They were a low scoring team.
See, I
And
think N'Golo Kante was more important to that team in the Champions League
N'Golo Kante
stretch.
helped, but I think Ruggier he was able to step up. He was all over the field, and that's why he was in the FIFA Pro World 11.
Yeah, I mean, he really got his name out there. He really showed that he is actually like a world class defender,
He made that next step.
and
He made that
I mean,
next
he's
step.
continuing to look great
Oh, 100%.
for Real Madrid. So he's not like a one and done kind of guy. I mean, he's continuing to string together excellent performances. He's only gotten better.
Hmm.
Um,
But
but
that would
yeah,
be the only year. In recent years, that would be the only year I would put a defender. The year before that, it goes to Levy, and then this year, here's where we have the argument. It's either going to go to Benzema or Holland.
or Lewandowski, but we both know he's not going to get it.
Yeah, no.
He's not going to get it. He'll never get it. They just will never give him. He's earned. I mean, he should have two. He should have the 2021, which they should just give them that an honorary Ballon d'Or. They should just give it to him. And then they should have gave it to him that year where he was having that incredible stretch of performances for Dortmund. I think it was 2014. He was having an incredible stretch of performances in the Champions League, playing against Barcelona, playing against Bayern, playing against all these big clubs, having an incredible stretch of performances, scoring 3, 4 goals, scoring braces left and right, couldn't be stopped. And that was against Pep Guardiola's Bayern as well. I mean,
But to his to his, I guess it's detriment. I believe back that far. Do you know the UEFA coefficients that they use for each nation, like
yes.
for your goal scoring for Golden Boot? And at that year, it was, I believe, Germany was still only a 1.5 instead of a full 2.
Yeah.
So Messi, Ronaldo, and anybody playing in it would have been the big four then. Were really the ones getting away with the running away with the Golden Boot, because even Ibra was in France at the time. I believe 14. It might have been his last year in Italy, but like
Mm-hmm.
they were only getting 1.5 there. So him and Ibra both, I think, scored more goals than Ronaldo and Messi. But because the multiplier they lost out goal to boot.
Mm-hmm.
So that's detrimental to him winning that Ballon d'Or.
Yeah. I think this year, I think reasonably who should win it is Benzema. I think that the hype and the marketability around Holland right now, insane. Insane. That's the thing. I feel like it's going to be hard for them to pass up giving it to him even though he doesn't deserve it because none of his Manchester City performances count towards this one.
Yeah, they do.
It ended, I think the cutoff was August. So only it was like the first 2 weeks and that was it. So it wasn't even the last 3 hat tricks that he had at home or any of that stuff.
Damn. Then yeah, that's definitely going to be hard to get him that award because once again, the voting committee has proven time and time again that they don't really value the Bundesliga, and by this point, I don't think he got any Champions League games in because they didn't make knockout stage, did they?
I believe he did. I think he still did last year. I think he did get a couple in, but I don't think he did
It would have
enough.
only been
Versus a guy who won it, and also Real Madrid won the La Liga as well.
yes,
So
on top of the back of
qualifying for the
Benzema,
World Cup.
arguably on the back of Benzema, arguably bringing out the best in Vinicius and getting him to take that next step forward.
Vinicius isn't the player he is right now without Benzema next to him. I'm sorry, he's not. And on top of that, he qualified for the World Cup, won the Champions League, won La Liga, put up a great goal assist record. Because he's one of those guys who almost equals as many assists as he gets goals too, which people don't seem to understand about him. People keep talking about Messi in their top 5 because Messi has a bunch of goal contributions, but Messi's a different player now, and I don't look at him in that light anymore. He's a great player. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't mind having him on Chelsea. You know what I mean? Like if Chelsea signed him, great, cool. He's not the player he was. He's not. They continue to cash in on his name. He's not in the running. Mbappe's not in the running, especially with the fact that he's a big bitch now, and he just continuously does things that are completely embarrassing. You can tell he's just such
a him give up on the attack.
Yeah, I mean he does shit like that every week, man. It's every week he does something like that now.
Somebody didn't pass him the ball, so we just kind of gave up on the entire attack.
Yep, and I'm sorry, Trent Alexander-Arnold is no longer a world-class defender in my mind. I continue to see that guy week in and week out, not covering 1-2s, week in and week out, giving up on plays early, allowing goals, doing really dumb things, being lazy, wanting to push the ball forward more and not coming back and tracking on defense. I mean, he's starting to fall down on my list too. I'm not saying he was going to be in contention for Ballon d'Or, but I just wanted to bring that up because I've been seeing him recently and I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed by that guy anymore. The way that I once was. I think João Cancelo should be up there. We talked about Ruben Diaz. I believe this was the season. It was this season or last season Van Dijk was hurt. So
I think it was most of last season he was hurt.
Yeah, so I mean he could be in the running. They're not going to win it though. We all know it's going to be an attacker, and we argue about this. But I'm not saying I never said that defenders aren't deserving, but I know the way that this world works. This whole footballing world, I know how it works, and I know that attackers are going to be the ones who win the awards. I mean, that's just how it is. It's how it's always going to be, and that's just how it. I mean, if Maldini didn't win a Ballon d'Or,
you get midfielders that win the award.
You do occasionally, but I mean, look at De Bruyne. You're going to tell me that he shouldn't have one by now? I mean, everyone's talking about Haaland, but how about the fact that De Bruyne has 1 goal and I think 11 assists right now? So, and nobody's going to say anything about that though. We're going to talk about Haaland. We're not going to say shit about De Bruyne though.
Well, because Haaland is absolutely lighting the world on fire.
Yeah, but he's getting dimed up by De Bruyne constantly.
Okay.
De Bruyne's
been diming up everybody forever.
Right.
So it's nothing new.
So that 1-2 punch, and now that Foden looks better than he's ever looked. On top of that, he looks great. He's so comfortable in that system. He looks real good. I mean, he's a good player. Don't get me wrong. I already knew he was a good player, but going into the season, like the way he's been playing recently, especially his form, so good, incredible. I feel like there should have been 2 players on the Manchester City team of the week. I knew it wasn't going to happen, but I feel like there should have been. 100%.
Fair.
Because Foden had, I think, 3 goals, 2 assists, and I think Haaland had 3 goals, 3 assists.
Nah, I think Foden only had 1 assist.
Did he?
I think it was De Bruyne and Cancelo that had the other assist. If I'm not for Haaland at least.
I mean, and that's it. But that's why I value that though, because that's in a derby that they just did that. That's an important match. So those are usually pretty rowdy. Those are contended matches. Um, but yeah, so we are
But the
all
derby's been that good for them recently because it's just been a one way, if I recall. I don't know the last time Man U's actually beat City.
nah
It might go back to Mourinho at United for a not defeat.
Man U is a
Just park the
joke.
bus.
Man U is a joke compared to Man City right now. But everybody in the world's a joke compared to Man City right now. They're insane. Um, who wins the Champions League this year in your mind?
I mean,
It's early, but I mean, who do you think?
no,
Who do
but
you think?
it's still such a loaded question because it all comes down to the draw. Like I could tell you two finalists that could possibly hit each other in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know what I mean?
it's hard to not say Bayern or Manchester City right now. The way they look, in my eyes.
Exactly. And guess what? They could hit each other
Yeah,
early. It all depending on the draw.
right.
So you know what I mean? Like that's why like I don't like really picking who's gonna win like before like we even have the knockout draw. But if I had to say, I mean, obviously those two, and then screw it. Let's give what's his face a shout.
What are some
Let,
of the top
let's
teams
give
right now?
let's give Real Madrid a shout. They
Yeah,
always
of
go
course, of
far.
course. You have
They
to
always
put them
go
in there.
far.
Yep, you have to put
And
them in there.
you know what? As my fourth team, because the draw could screw everything, I picked basically one from each league: one German, one English, one Spanish, and one Italian. I think Napoli has a chance to make waves too.
Napoli looks good. Napoli looks good. They're scoring a fuckload too. They've been scoring
Yes,
a
they
lot,
are.
and there was a big question mark on that squad because they got rid of Koulibaly, but they're covering that pretty fine. They look good. They look real good. Honestly, Serie A is probably the best league to watch this year, man. It's the most competitive by far, and they have so many good teams. Actually,
It's
uh,
been it's
honestly,
been like a couple years coming that they've slowly been able to get like a better. I guess it's like an influx of talent versus other leagues like losing people to mainly the Premier League. They've actually been able to retain some talent and bring in good talent.
hmm
But yeah, it's been a long while coming because they've had trouble for a little while in money ways, but just because everybody's able to outspend them, but they're
hmm
kind of working their way back in.
yeah. I mean, seeing Sassuolo play last year too was really great. You know what I mean? Seeing another team step up from the mid table to actually be a contender, and
Hmm.
AC Milan looks good. Napoli looks good. Juventus is decent. I mean, Roma looks pretty good. They have depth in that league, and they actually have a lot of guys that are probably going to be leaving within the next 2 years that are going to go to big clubs. I mean, the Serie A is legit right now, and I think it's the best league in football to watch personally because the Premier League's always great. Don't get me wrong. The Premier League's always a go-to. It's always a great
Well, the Premier League's supposed to be the great.
right, and it's a given,
Each tra-
right?
each
It's not
transfer window,
surprising.
each transfer window, they get to spend more than the entire other five leagues combined.
Right. As much as we can sit here and continue to talk about how great the Premier League is, at the end of the day, like Manchester City's winning the league this year. I mean, like they just I don't see anyone stopping Holland.
But when you
Honestly,
get
you
a
know what I
team,
would like to see though, and I was thinking about this on my drive home the other day. I
Mhm.
was thinking about this. Seeing Koulibaly go up against Holland is going to be awesome. That's going to
uh,
be awesome because Koulibaly is big enough and strong enough to actually stand a chance against the guy. I think he'll probably start playing to Fofana's side or Thiago Silva's side because Koulibaly can actually do something about him. I would say. Do you agree?
eh,
I at least think it's only going to be a 2 goal difference if Manchester City win. I don't think they're going to rout them.
I think they're absolutely going to destroy Chelsea.
I don't know. I like the way they look right now with Potter, and I like who we have in the back here. Wait, did
You
West
guys,
just
you
did
guys,
West just make a come up? Did he just get Marquinhos? He got Marquinhos for 88K.
they barely just they barely
85K.
squeaked out a win against Crystal Palace, and you think they're going to go toe to toe with City?
Possibly. Well, when do they play them? It's going to be a little while before they play them too, so they can catch their form. They can get their best 11.
Fair.
I'm just saying, like the direction they're going. They play City November 9th, so they have another month, and that's in the EFL Cup. That's not even in.
Oh well, that's completely different.
They don't play them
But then,
until January 2nd in Premier League play. So if they continue to go the route that they're going, I think that could be one of the best matchups of the year. personally. And also because of the way that things have been going and recent form has been showing, I think Chelsea has a chance to be top 4 again. Which I did not really think before the season started that they would be, but now I think that they are a legitimate top 4 contender. I mean, I think they are. And I'm not overrating them because while they've had a good show of form the last couple matches, I think that they're a legitimate squad that just needed better direction at the end of the day. And I think they're getting that now. So I think that they have a potential to actually be a legitimate squad moving forward. I don't think this year's our Champions League year. We're not going to win the fucking Premier League. I don't think that. But at the end of the day, I think we're a legitimate team. I do. I do believe that. All right. Let's talk about something that Wes can talk about here. Let's talk about the best players. We're going to go forward, midfield, and then defense and goalkeeping. The best players that you've used, the best players that you've gone against, and then we're going to talk about, so far in your mind, what the best value SBCs are and which ones that you think were the best. Regardless of what the packs gave you or whatever, which ones do you think were the best so far? Because I want to keep up with them this year because there's so many SBCs constantly being thrown at us all the time.
Okay.
We're going to start with defenders. What were the best defenders? Let's start with Wes, since he hasn't really been able to talk about this stuff much. Keep in mind, Wes just started playing this as his first FIFA, so I want to get the perspective of a guy who just started playing the game, started grinding his first FIFA. What are the best players that you used on your defense and goalkeeping this year so far?
De Gea
De Gea.
and Davies are my favorites so far.
Okay. How have you been liking Delict?
He's all right. I'm on the fence. He's all right.
Okay.
I think he's not as good as I was hoping he would be
Sure.
when I put him in here.
Yep.
But I'd say he's worth the money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's not very expensive.
Yeah, he's only like 12,000.
All right, Eddie. What are the best defenders and goalkeepers you played against?
Played against or played with?
Both.
Best goalkeeper I played with is Mike Mignon.
Yep.
He's been solid.
Really good.
And you're gonna hate this, but the best defender I played with is Denzel Dumfries.
Yeah, I am gonna hate that. You're right.
His physicality is just it's been amazing on the wings. Love seeing it. Against person that's given me the most trouble, honestly, has been Ter Stegen.
Yeah.
At goalie, and who would be the worst defender? It probably have to be Van Dijk. I mean, his card is just so strong every year.
Yeah.
He just can't do anything about it.
He's even worse this year though, because he's lengthy, and that's like a huge thing now. So he's so fast. And actually, I was playing against Wes with Holland even, and Holland is so fucking fast now. Like he was already annoying to deal with last year, and now he's so fast.
You give Van Dijk with his physicality, it's like a wall back there that you can't beat.
No, and also all you have to do is hold the R trigger and run at somebody, and he auto tackles. Like you don't even have to press the tackle button, and he just takes the ball straight up, not even like pushes it away.
So would you say he's a must buy?
If you have the coins to spare, I would say yes. Van Dijk. He's incredible. So I have a longer list because I've been no-lifing this game recently. I also have had a top level team since pretty much day one. The best defenders that I've used so far are Van Dijk, without a doubt, without question, is the best defender that I've used in this game. However, I just don't like having 280,000 coins sitting back there right now when I have the Thiago Silva SBC that I did for 90k that does what he does, not as well, but he fits that role for now until Van Dijk goes down in price. And I actually want to use the SBCs because I keep getting these good packs, which I know is like a weird thing to kind of complain about, but I want to try these different players, but it's hard to not use the players that I've packed this year so far because they're so good. Van Dijk is incredible. Van Dijk is by far the best defender I've played with, by far the best defender I've played against, followed closely, believe it or not, by Koulibaly. Koulibaly's insane. Koulibaly was insane last year. Koulibaly's even better this year. He's also lengthy.
Koulibaly's been insane for the past 7 FIFAs.
That's true, but also I haven't played seriously since 2017 was the last one I really played seriously.
And he was good in there.
And then 22 as well. So yeah, he was good, but people were using still were using like Sergio Ramos, um, Boateng. There's a
Yeah.
lot of cheap beasts people were using. Varane was really good back then. So um,
I
but
think
yeah,
Varane's still good though.
Thiago Silva's SBC. Considering if you did it with fodder and you didn't just spend the 200K off rip, I think is one of the best SBCs out there, and I think he's incredible right now. He is very expensive, but I think he is incredible. He gives good links. The card design this year for flashbacks is really cool, although I think I prefer the one from last year because it just looks more like a flashback with a staticky rewind. I think that's really cool. I'm also kind of biased because that Neymar card was just so cool last year. That card was awesome. But I really like Thiago Silva. Kimpembe, yet again, incredible. I don't know what it is, but the 83 rated gold card, top 5 defender in the game for me. Who else have I used that I like? There was somebody that I traded Thiago Silva out for that I actually really liked. I can't remember off the top of my head. João Cancelo and Hakimi have been beautiful for me. Have been really annoying to play against, though. Super annoying to play against. And the best keepers that I've had for me, Courtois and Areola are the two keepers that are like, in my opinion, the best. I throw a cat.
Ariola is trash.
Me and you always have different opinions on keepers, though. We always do. But for
Yeah,
me,
because the dude, I played with him and he just does nothing. He doesn't save things he should save. Like I see other keepers make saves, and I've seen him make saves against me that he just doesn't make. I don't like him, and there's no convincing me otherwise. I'd rather use the Nick Pope I have.
yeah, well, Nick Pope's another ratty one though. That's kind of crazy, but yeah, I think that that Areola and Courtois have been by far the best. I have not used De Gea yet. De Gea is a demon. De Gea is really annoying to play against. And I've had a lot of experience because Wes uses De Gea. De Gea is very annoying. Um, Also, Ter Stegen that you mentioned, I've played against him 2 times, and I get that FIFA thing where the one game I could not score no matter what I did, and the other game everything went in. Like I'm talking like finesse shots outside the box, he didn't even move. I'm slow rolling across the goal, he doesn't even move towards it. And then the other game, no matter what I did, it would not go in. Power shots from like point blank would not go in. A chip shot over him when he was running at me, he just deflected, made a leg save on a bottom lefties when he was on the right side playing near post. I mean, I could not score. So I don't really have a full opinion on him yet.
Okay. I was say the couple games I played against him, he was just unstoppable.
Right.
So
So I think the metric for goalkeepers this year, they have to be able to stop the power shots because there's a lot of goalkeepers in the game that cannot stop the power shots. So for me, if I'm even going to field a keeper, he has to be able to stop power shots. That's my metric because outside the foot shots, crazy finesses, a lot of distance stuff, you're not going to stop with any keeper. But there's keepers that can stop the power shots, and for me, Courtois and Areola have been the best thus far. Areola is a lot cheaper though, so it's a very different mindset. I do want to try mid Van der Sar because last year I put about 500 games into my mid Van der Sar that I packed in the beginning of the season. I really loved him all the way through until the end game. I actually used him and loved him. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. Does anybody else have any other defenders in mind that just popped up or goalkeepers that they used or have played against? All right, let's move on to midfielders.
John Stones has been a cheap pain in the ass. Well, a lower
Yes,
rated pain in the
yes,
ass
that's true.
to
I
play
forgot
against.
about him. Yes,
He has been
yes.
Who?
crazy.
John
John
Stones.
Stones.
John
He's an
Stones.
83 rated. Plays
Okay,
for City.
I've used him a couple times.
He's been a pain in the ass to play against.
He's another one that's 50-50. Some games I'll play against him and he's auto defending me. Some games I play against him and I blow right by him every single time. But I'm also using expensive teams. So my opinion on defenders I've played against isn't as valid in my opinion though. I don't think my opinion's as valid because I'm using a team that's good against pretty much anything. Except for like Van Dijk. Van Dijk is a cheat code. Koulibaly's right behind him. Thiago Silva's up there. He's pretty good. But yeah. No, John Stones for sure. Like the first couple of days he was annoying and he continues to be annoying sometimes. But it's just like, have you guys also felt like they were saying this last year with the next gen? I think this is again, some games just feel heavy and slow. Like and other games feel fluid. Do you guys experience that? Because like some games I just feel so slow.
I don't think I've experienced that yet.
I've had games where I do really good and my players work well together, and other games they just don't.
Right.
It's weird.
All right. Wes, what are some midfielders that you use that you love and midfielders that you play against that you think are good?
midfielders. I've used Goretzka and midfielders. Neymar, right?
Yeah, I mean he counts as a. You can count. He would count more as an attacker, but you can
Yeah.
use him.
Okay. My
Well, he
bad.
was playing him at left mid. So.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that counts. That's fine.
Yeah.
Neymar's
Neymar's been very
amazing.
well. He's been very clutch.
Mhm.
He does everything, and I can take the ball from face whenever I want. So.
That's true. Neymar, for whatever reason, also gets random tackles in constantly. He's super annoying and disruptive. All right, Eddie, what are your midfielders so far?
That I like playing with. Obvious, like 100% has to be Sandro Tonali.
So
Dude
good.
is amazing, especially for his price point. And like he's totally worth it in my opinion.
Mhm.
He's such a great holding midfielder, great distribution, great tackling. He's like everywhere.
Yeah.
Great positioning.
You guys are playing FIFA? Which one?
The new one. We're
And then
Courtney. We're recording a podcast right now.
Oh, shit, I'm so sorry.
You're good. You're good. I'll hit you up. I'll hit you up later. I'll hit you up later.
Yeah, I got you.
All right. Hold on. Let me move us into a lock channel. Hold on. All right, you guys have to start your streams over again, but go ahead. So Tonali.
Tonali is obviously completely worth it for his budget. And, I mean, for price point and like everything about him. He's his distribution, his defense, his free kicks. It's so fun to play with him. And then team of the week Modric has been
Yes.
so fun to use.
Yes.
I've loved that card. He's so great moving forward. His passing, he's so fun to dribble with. And then with these new power shots, he just buries them from outside the box.
Yep.
And I love it.
His stats, his defensive stats, in my opinion, are not correctly reflected on that card because his defensive stats are actually he's so good on defense.
Oh, he tracks back amazingly, man.
And he's so disruptive in the pass. Yeah, 73 defense. He plays better than that. He's so disruptive in the passing lanes. Like every time I pass, like he's like doing random slide tackles and just stealing the ball. Like he's so annoying to play against. The only problem is, like I said, with my team, I can break up those plays and kind of speed past those guys, but they're so good. I mean, at the same, like he's just so good. Like he's so annoying and he's so disruptive. I like him as well. I think Tonali is the best cheap beast in the game right now. I think he's the best player under 20K, easily.
Now, midfielders I played against that I hate.
Yeah, that you think are like super good as well.
Honestly, I think Kai Havertz is a great card this year.
Yes.
A couple people I played against that have him were just he looked so good on the ball against me, and his shot was great. Like he was just so solid, and it made it so tough for me to defend against him.
Yep. He can finish from like any angle. I was actually going to say him as well. I hit the first week that when he had the inform. I think it was not last week. It was the first week, right? Week 1.
Yeah, he should have been week 1, I believe.
Yeah, I played against that card. I could not stop him. No matter what he did, I couldn't stop him. Like he just continued to score on me. Did whatever he wanted. Dribbled all over me. It was so annoying. So yeah, Kai Havertz is definitely going to be on my list. So for me, midfielders. Do you have anything else to add, Eddie? My bad.
That's pretty much it for me in the midfield.
So my best midfielder so far this year, I actually recently, the last couple of games, because I had Fede Valverde, player of the month, I had him on, he got a red card. But I actually plugged in Thiago because I just needed a player for a game, and I just had one untradeable in my club. And his passing was so good. His dribbling was so good. He felt so smooth. He actually felt faster than his pace. His 5-star skills obviously are super useful, very nice. I really liked him. He was throwing darts. I mean, it was insane. Right on the feet of my attackers. It was making it so easy to distribute to my strikers, which is basically the entire play style of my team, is kind of funneling everything into the middle and then crashing the box with 6 players. And he made that so easy. The tiki-taka passing plus the deep passing, his crossing, his ability to cross field and put it right on the foot of my players. He was so good. For his price, he's really, I mean, people use him as SBC fodder, but I think he's actually decent right now. I'm assuming once the road to the knockouts comes along, there's going to be a player who's better than him at what he does. And also, if you have the money for Xavi or Pirlo, you will not be disappointed because players like that are actually so good in this FIFA. Passing is so important in this FIFA. And there are a few players in the entire game who pass anywhere near as good as him. So I would say for sure Thiago. Let me look at my squad. Conte, Renato, Valverde, the three that I'm running right now. So good.
Renato is scary.
Renato is maybe the best midfielder in the game right now. And especially for the fact that he's 70K, that's actually a bargain because he plays like a 90 rated card. He really plays like Hullet. Like he really does. Like it's really hard for me to find a difference between him and Hullet, except for the fact that Hullet is more consistent and I think he makes better runs. But for 70,000 coins, you get Renato, and for 8 million, you get Ruud Hullet. I think there's a pretty clear winner in my opinion in that because there's probably less than 1,000. There's probably less than 500 players that can afford Hullet right now, like actually afford him without having to crash their entire club for him. So Fede Valverde's player of the month is sick, but he's overpriced. I'm sorry. So what I paid for him was about 170. His full price of the SBC, if you had no fodder, was like 220, 230. Too expensive, in my opinion. I think he's a little overpriced, but he's incredible. He's very consistent, very good. His passing's good. Sometimes he can be a little suspect though. He tracks back well. I also have custom tactics, and instructions on my players. So I want them to play a certain way. He fits in that well. He follows the instructions well. He plays really well off 2 chem. I have no complaints with him. Other midfielders, Modric's team of the week, easily one of the most annoying cards in the game. I played against the Hullet already. He's obviously incredible. What else? There's another icon that I played against. No, it's not. Marquisio. I played against Marquisio and I played against Yaya Toure. I played against both of them. They are both unbelievable. Unbelievable. They're so good. So good. Toure is better than Hullet. Toure is better than Hullet. I don't want to hear it. Toure is better than Hullet. He's also lengthy in this game. He's so good. He's incredible. Yeah, so those guys are easily the best. In terms of cheap players though, like under 20K, I say like Thiago's really good. Players that are like him, Pedri is also very, very good. I like him a lot.
I do actually. Speaking of Pedri, Nicolo Barella.
That's right. I didn't think about him either. Yeah.
I enjoy playing with Barella.
I haven't played against Barella yet, but I know he's good.
He feels good, and he's in the right spots. I enjoy him.
Yeah, he's good, and his card's only going to continue to get better for the next few years.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's move on to my favorite. Wes, your favorite attackers.
Ronaldo is definitely my favorite attacker that I've played with. He feels so smooth, and I can make goals very, very easily compared to anyone else. I think Rashford's pretty nice for the price of the SBC.
His player of the month, John.
Yeah, that thing was well worth it in my opinion.
All right.
No, I think that's it. I played with a couple different ones, but those are my two favorites.
What about playing against? Who do you hate seeing against you?
Holland for sure. He just runs at you way faster than he should be able to, and then he just runs it down.
Right.
And my goalkeeper is like asleep.
Don't hurt me.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
That's so true.
It's horrible.
All right, I'll go next. My favorite striker I played with so far this year is going to be Romelu Lukaku.
Yep.
He's so physical, and he actually gets up to speed pretty well. Like I enjoy playing with him, and then
he's so perfect for this game too.
And actually, I also really like Inaki Williams. He's so cheap.
Yep.
And he plays very well up top.
He's so annoying to try and dispossess too.
Yes. Playing against me, who do I hate seeing?
Rashford.
Yes, Rashford is a very large pain.
Havertz again, because I know you played against him as striker.
Yes. There's somebody from Spain. No. Oh no, from England. Guedes. Gonzalo Guedes.
Yep.
His dribbling and his finishing make him very tough to defend against.
Yep.
He is, and I don't think he's super expensive. So if somebody's looking for a cheap guy, he's got some good dribbling, good finishing. He's not, and he's got good size too. He's not a bad shout.
Yep. There's actually a couple that I missed for midfield. Zakaria is incredible. He's so annoying. He's maybe the best midfielder that I've played against. Loki. Like, he's ridiculous. Like, Eddie, I'm telling you, if you try him, you're not going to regret it. For 30K, he's unbelievable. Mendy as a defender, yet again. Reece James is really good in this FIFA.
She just packed him.
Who?
Untradeable. Reece James.
He's really good. I used him from the beginning. I actually was struggling to want to put Hakimi in because Reece James is so good. I actually really like Reece James in this FIFA. And Llorente as a midfielder.
Marcos Llorente. His card's been very good for the past couple years.
Jules Koundé as a defender is unbelievable.
I haven't seen one of him yet, so I can't comment.
Played against him 3 times. He's really good. Varane I've played against a few times. He's also really good. And Araujo is a good cheap beast, but he's not that good overall. He's pretty beatable.
Yes, I will agree. I mean, like he makes it a little tough, but
yeah.
But it's
All
not
right.
like he's setting the world on fire.
And now for attackers, for me, the best attacker I've used, Erling Haaland. There's no second. There's no second, third, fourth. He's number 1 through 4. Number 1 through 5.
He really wait. He's better than Mueller.
I'll get to that. We'll talk about it.
Okay,
But so the thing is that the lengthy thing makes a huge difference. As much as I want to act like it doesn't, because I can be a meta slave at times. My team is meta, but the thing is when I have the amount of coins that I have, I want to spend it on an insane team right now, and it is a very meta team. But at the same time, I'm trying different tactics. I'm trying different formations. I'm switching them in and out, moving them around. Haaland works in every tactic, every formation, does the same thing in every team he's on, and it works every time. You put a through ball over his head, he's going to blow past the defender, and if he doesn't blow past the defender, he's going to push him off like he's a small child. He did it to Van Dijk. He did it to Van Dijk. Van Dijk is a 300,000 coin 90 rated defender, and he blew past him and scored a hat trick in my second game with him. He's unreal.
Like the video of him playing for Dortmund, where he just runs the entirety of the field and
Yes.
throws down the Bayern player.
Yes. And he's got 3-star. If he gets it on the right foot, he will flub some finishes. He has been flubbing some finishes for me, but then he comes back and scores 2 right after that. So I'm like, all right, whatever, who cares? He's in on goal at least 3 to 4, maybe 5 times. I'm Division 6 right now, so I'm not bad at the game. I'm already Division 6 and climbing, which Division 6 right now I would say is more equivalent to Division 1 normally. Because the best players are between Division 6, 5, and 4, I think, on PC. Well, I'm cross-platform. There's a couple guys in Div 3, but Division 6, 5, and 4, I'm going against insane teams. So it's not like I'm playing slouches all day. I'm playing against guys who are grinding the game right now. I'm about 60 games in, about 54 hours of gameplay into the game right now. I probably played the game actually for 30 hours, maybe 25. Other things have been SBCs, pack openings, all that stuff. But I mean, I've grinded the shit out of the game for the past week. Haaland is the best. SBC Rashford is good, but he feels very clunky. There's a lot of things, in my opinion, he doesn't do very well. He doesn't always finish inside the box. The 3-star weak foot is more of a glaring thing with him because it's harder to get him in on goal. Cristiano Ronaldo, who I packed this year, who Wes also packed this year, tradable, lucky. He is very good. He is very good. I don't know why all these streamers are out here saying that he feels clunky in this year, whatever. He does not. You put an architect on him, he's lengthy. He's insane. He finishes from every angle, and he also has the highest base shooting stat of any base gold card. Harry Kane is really good this year. Harry Kane is really fucking good in this FIFA.
Really?
Yes. Harry Kane, because he's got the lengthy body type, so he plays a lot faster, but he also, his shooting is insane. His shooting is insane. His shot power is super high.
That's one thing they've always given him is good shooting, because that's all he is just a finisher.
Right, but now this year, he doesn't have to play as a target man because of the lengthy stat. He doesn't have to be a guy you put it on his feet and then pray to God he can get a shot. He's actually able to get in on... Well, you have Casemiro and Conte? Oh, that's a transfer market. I was like, holy shit. Yeah, so also I've used Memphis Depay. His dribbling feels really, really nice this year.
Ooh. Sorry to tell you. I forgot about somebody that I really like.
Go ahead.
An attacker. Rafinha.
Yep, he was going to be on my list as well. Yep.
He is solid. He is quick. His dribbling is so fluid.
Yep.
And I don't think he's lengthy because he's kind of smaller, but
no,
he's still just quick and fun.
I think if you throw an architect on him, he is. Oh no, he's controlled. Never mind. I don't think can he get lengthy strength? No, he can't because his agility is really high. But I think
That
it's
means
weird that it's a punishment to have really high agility and balance when that was like the meta stat forever. And now it's like as long as you can have 14 more strength, be over 5'9", have 14 more strength than you do agility, you are meta. That's crazy to me. Rafinha is insane this year, I agree. Anthony was really hard to defend. Anthony was really good. Darwin Núñez keeps giving me headaches. I keep hating to play against him. Dembele is also pretty good, but I think Anthony's clear, and I think Rafinha is clear. For
Definitely
midfielders, I miss De Jong. De Jong's actually sneaky good this year. He's very expensive though.
I've not seen a De Jong.
He's 100K. I don't think he's worth 100K, but he's sneaky good this year. He's definitely good. His passing is incredible, but I just don't think for his price right now that he's really worth it when there's other midfielders out there like Renato that are 20K cheaper. You're not going to convince me that De Jong is better than Renato for a team. Timo Werner, played against him once this year. I was underwhelmed with that. I will say that. Rashford is good this year. His base gold is good this year.
I had no problems against Werner.
No, I didn't either, really. He can be frustrating.
I played him twice. Really didn't give me anything crazy.
Nkunku and Rafael Leao are both very good this year.
Have not seen an Nkunku. Have seen 2 Leaos and don't want to do it again.
I packed Nkunku untradeable. He became tradable. I sold him immediately for like 170,000. I don't know how it happened. I didn't ask questions. So I haven't played against Benzema yet, except for one time with Wes. And then I haven't played against Heung-min Son. I have not used him or played against him yet.
Oh, I've actually used his card. I used his loan card, so like no chem style or nothing on it. But I loved his dribbling and his shot was unbelievable.
So now let's talk about it. I packed Gerd Muller in a 50 in an untradeable 50K pack. His mid, in my opinion, better than his baby, and I'll talk about why. So if we look at his baby is the typical baby better card. It's got more pace, so he got -5 pace, but you have +3 shooting, +3 passing, +1 dribbling. I will take all those stats this year. I don't think you need pace this year. I don't think you need it. He's not going to be lengthy, but if you throw a hunter on him, he's got 92 pace and 95 shooting. If you take his baby and you throw a hunter on it, he's got 96 pace and 94 shooting. So he's good. His baby's very good. Don't get me wrong. It sells for more than his mid. I'm not being biased because I packed him. I'm being biased because I used him. And I'm telling you, I did not feel the fact that his pace was only 84 or whatever they claim it is. I threw a hunter on him immediately because I'm a rat, but the card's insane. Now, granted, I have him in a strike partnership with Haaland, so that frees him up a lot. If he's inside the box and he shoots, it is going in the back of the net. He has not missed a single finish for me yet. Not one. He does not miss inside the box. The only thing that Haaland has over him is the fact that Haaland can beat you with speed. He can beat you with strength. He can beat you with just making ridiculous shots. And he can also beat you because he's just broken and his animations are insane. His running style, all that stuff is just nuts this year. It's very hard for me to not put Gerd Muller over Haaland, but he's just not clear in my mind right now. The only thing that I like more about Gerd Muller overall is the fact that he's got 4-star weak foot, 4-star skills. So it's a lot more sure. He's more sure-footed on his weak foot. Whereas Haaland kind of struggles with his right foot, but he doesn't really use it anyway. So Gerd Muller's incredible. Gerd Muller's so good. So I also have only played 6 games with Gerd Muller so far because I packed him earlier today and I was doing a lot of content stuff, editing videos and whatnot. But in those 5 or 6 games, I believe I scored. Let me check. I'll check. Active squad. Gerd Muller. Player bio. 6 games played, 10 goals scored. Yeah, 6 games played, 10 goals scored. That's pretty good. It's a pretty good goal scoring record, and that's all in division rivals. I'm not going to use him for squad building challenge or squad battles. So I think Gerd Muller is insane. If I use him more, my opinion may change. But right now, because Holland is so meta on top of everything else already, it's kind of hard for me to not say him. He's just so clear. He's so good. Harry Kane's good this year. Like I was saying, Harry Kane's good. And Inaki Williams needs to be said again because Inaki Williams is very, very good. Actually, as he's popping up on the screen, that informed Shamuradov is really good.
Oh, I played against one of him, and he gave me some real trouble.
He's really good. So now that we get into that, I also want to say Bernardo Silva is silky as fuck this year, and so is Neymar.
I haven't seen Bernardo Silva or played or got a chance to play with him.
He's better than he was last year, in my opinion, and I loved him for like the first 4 months of last year. And you also remember I did the SBC, the Champions League SBC for him, and then he became a 90.
Yeah,
so I got a 90 card for like 25k, and he was amazing. And he's even better and silkier in this FIFA. And also, I haven't used Neymar more than like 3 games because I played swaps with Wes on the friendlies, and I also used his loan a couple times. He's extremely smooth, probably the best dribbling base gold card in the game. Really, really fun. Really good. You don't really feel the fact that he's only 88 pace this year. He's really, really good. And he also finishes well. He's not clinical, but he finishes well. But he's not a striker. So I like Neymar a lot. What are your most disappointing cards so far? Wes, you start.
Disappointing? I don't. Disappointing. I'm not sure.
All right, Eddie, what's your most disappointing card this year so far?
Jadon Sancho.
Yeah, he's bad.
I packed him, and I was like really hyped. I'm like, all right, and it got a little downgrade from last year, but he should still be fun. And it just doesn't feel right. You know what I mean? It just like I don't know how to completely explain it. And it's just like he's not right in the positioning. He's not dribbling the way he should. And I'm not a fan of his card super much.
Now I was also disappointed by him, and he doesn't dribble. He doesn't dribble right. He feels heavy. He feels slow. He gets pretty much demolished by any attacker or any defender that's like any good this year. I'm gonna say my most disappointing card. I'll have a couple. Actually, it's just one. It's SBC Rashford. With his stats and the way he looked at the very beginning of the game, he looks like he's gonna be really good, and he doesn't have like his shot power is just like deceivingly low. He feels so clunky. He doesn't feel like a good dribbler, even though he's got decent dribbling stats and he's got 5-star skills. His 3-star weak foot really hinders him. For his price, being only an 84 when he really should have been an 85 or 86. The Player of the Month upgrade was pretty meh. I don't know, man. I just don't think that Player of the Month Rashford was really that good, and I already have him cycled out of my team, so that's just 200k right down the drain for me. But I got lucky with packs, so I can't really complain.
I would say it's 200k down the drain, but you packed a 1.6 million person
and a 680,000 coin person.
Exactly. So
yeah,
you're still net up.
For sure. I mean, no, don't get me wrong. I'm not crying about it. You know what I mean? I'm not sitting here going, poor me. But at the end of the day, I did the SBC expecting him to be a world beater. I mean, I sent the SBC to Eddie and Wes in our group chat, and we're like, holy fuck, this card's going to be insane, right? I did it the second it came out. I went in, used my fodder, did it immediately. Boom, boom, boom. I never really loved it. His power shots, I will say, though, his power shots are insane. His power shots from outside the box are nuts. But they're not the easiest to set up when I'm playing against Van Dijk every goddamn game. All right, top 3 cards overall. Go ahead, Wes.
Ronaldo, Neymar, and I'm really liking my goalkeeper.
De Gea.
My 3.
Neymar, Ronaldo, and De Gea. Okay. Eddie, your top 3?
We're going to do Lukaku, Modric, and Tonali.
Yeah. See, those are 3 guys that, like, when I saw that they Tonali, especially when I saw Tonali and Pedri were going to be pretty cheap, I was like, yeah, this dude's going to be all over that. For me,
I run my midfield of The only thing is, Pedri. I'm not sure if I'm sold on Pedri yet, just because I have Barella and I kind of rotate the two of them. I'm not sure who I want more yet,
Mm-hmm.
but it just both of them are just they're so good, and it makes it tough because they're so good on the ball,
Mm-hmm.
and it, it's just it's a tough decision. But yeah, it's a good tough decision though. Like I'd rather
Right.
have this problem than being stuck up shit's creek with somebody that's lackluster in the midfield.
Your squad's kind of stacked compared to how your teams usually are this year, though. You actually have some depth. You have some choices. You have some decent players in your
Oh
club.
yeah. Well,
So.
see, my club this year, it's not like it's super stacked compared to what it has been before. Because I mean, if you remember last year at this point, I had the Cruz, Modric, Benzema triad, had Vinny. It actually came up on my team, what you call it, my time hop. Like I had like that full La Liga squad that I always build first
Mm-hmm.
because I love Cruz.
Have you used Verratti yet?
No,
You're fucking
actually,
up.
I have him sitting in my thing
Yeah, you
because you
need to
told me
use
to
him.
buy him.
He also went up in price though, so I think you bought him for like 12K. He's like 17 right now, so you could probably flip him.
I got him for 10.5.
Oh well, he's 17. You could flip him right now for like 7K profit. I would say I would suggest, but
Well, you told me to use him, so I'm probably going to use him before I flip him.
yeah, I'm just being cautious because we're gonna talk about the market in a little bit.
Mhm.
My top 3 cards this year. Number 1, Erling Haaland. Period. Um, I've played against so I didn't talk about Mbappe because he's the obvious choice. I didn't play. I played against an R9 already, and I played against one Mbappe. The Mbappe was alone on a pretty trash team, so I'm not gonna count that. And he was like annoying. Like Mbappe's like everybody gets an Mbappe loan, and everyone and all these people use it day one. So he's annoying like he is every year when they do that. And R9 is R9. I mean, what
Oh,
else
there's
needs to be
something you
said?
forgot to talk about.
Hmm.
You forgot to talk about Cody Gapko.
Gakpo, yes. We're gonna talk about him later though. There's a reason I left him out.
Okay, all right, then that's fine.
So, my number 1 is Holland. My
Mm-hmm.
number 2. See, this is hard because I have to pick between
It is
these really good strikers, these really good midfielders, and these really good defenders. Like Koulibaly, like I want to put Koulibaly up there. I want to put Kimpembe up there, but I'm gonna stick with 3. Eddie's gonna get mad at me because 2 of the 3 are attackers. I'm gonna say Gerd Muller, Erling Haaland, and Renato Sanchez are gonna be my 3.
Perfect, man. That's your team, man.
But easily, Fede Valverde's card could be up there, and N'Golo Kante's card is up there, Koulibaly's card is up there, Thiago Silva's flashback card is up there. Van Dijk is easily the best defender. I mean, Van Dijk's probably my true number 2 instead of Gerd Muller, just because like I love Gerd Muller, and but it's a given he's going to be good, right? It's a given that a 92 rated icon that's a 1.6 million is going to be good. So it's not really like an interesting point to bring up that yeah, my fucking 1.6 million coin icon that I got lucky enough to pack was good. You know what I mean? That's not like
Mm-hmm.
no one's like, wow, really? So I would say, Holland, Van Dijk, and Sanchez. Honorable mentions to basically my entire team. Hakimi and Cancelo holding it down. I mean, they're so good, but it's hard to pick between them. But the standouts are clearly those 3. I mean, and I just added Holland recently. I only played like 3-4 games with him, and instantly you can tell the difference between him and another player. Cristiano Ronaldo, again, incredible this year. I'm gonna. What are your favorite and least favorite things about the new game so far? Wes, you start. Since this is your first game, I'm interested to see what you pick.
Well, everything's very new to me. I think obviously attacking is way harder than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Just shooting. Shooting is my hardest thing. I still can't really shoot, honestly. So it's very hard. But I'm slowly getting better. I mean,
Yeah, I see
I can
progress
win
every day.
games on like I can win like games on like semi-pro and
Yeah.
professional sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, you're also winning
So
division rivals games too.
yeah, so I'm getting better.
Yeah.
But I blame part of it on my expensive team already. So
Yeah. But that's okay though. That's a good problem to have. Um, Eddie, go ahead.
I love the new how pace doesn't matter as much. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you said earlier, the lengthy thing can help, but you don't need everybody to have 90 plus pace all over your field to really succeed. And then I love the passing. A lot of people fuck up the passing because they just point a direction and expect it to go there. It actually requires a little more skill to pass this year. as opposed to previous years. Big fan of that, and I'm actually a big fan of the new free kicks and like set pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a big fan of that new setup. Not sold on the PKs yet. I think I think yeah, I don't really like the penalty kicks as much, but the the set pieces and like corners and like all that stuff. I like it a lot. I like it. It's fun. Adds a lot to the game.
Yeah. Um. I think my favorite new things or my favorite things about the game this year is definitely the skill gap. You actually people who are like when you're the better player, you'll win most of the time. FIFA aids will still happen. FIFA aids are always going to happen. But I think that the skill gap. Well, you also got to keep in mind we played on last gen PC last year was last gen for FIFA 22. So now that we have the next gen stuff, the game is so much more fluid, so much different, and it plays so much better in my opinion.
So,
I think that the passing, I love that. I agree. The passing's so good. The passing's so much fun. Because you actually can think about how you want to pass. And people complain, and also I complained about first touches, right? But I like it because there's actually so many things you can do with your first touch now once you learn the system that you can really choose how you want to do it. And I think that that's so good because in the back in the the game it was like your first touch depends on your dribbling stat. Now it's like you can take a pacey first touch and explode into space, or you can take a controlled first touch and kind of try to do a dribble move and break out, or you can just do these passing first touches with players who have decent balance and you can pass around really well. I think the passing system's good. I think the power shot is an awesome addition. I think if you can set it up and
I love
you can
that
hit it,
power shot.
hitting power shots is so
I
satisfying.
love the power shot.
I will say the power shot adds more chances for fuckery though because because what I did is I hit a power shot earlier today. The keeper deflected it, but the physics are more realistic now. So the ball was spinning towards the net. So he deflected it, but the spin rolled it into the net. If that happened to me on Foot Champs, I'm losing my mind. But I think it's cool that they added more variables to the game. Every game does not feel the same. And back passing and crossing field to open up passing opportunities using your tactics this year really changes the game. Back in the day, like pros used tactics when it came to like high level games and other people didn't really care. But this year, tactics actually make a huge difference. The players you choose, I think the pace styles are cool. I don't love them. I would say that's one of the cons for me because now it just adds another thing that stops players from being usable. I really like the chem system though because I'm seeing some unique players, and having a player on one chem or two chem is not like it's whatever. You can have players on one chem and they play great. So I like that because it really allows you to really build your ultimate team. Now I do like the position changes. However, I want to say with midfielders they really fuck it up. Where CDMs can only play CDM and CMs can only play CM. It really makes it so that you have to switch it in game again. So it really doesn't change the game as much as I would have liked it to, and as much as it has potential to be changed. So I think that that's kind of needs to be more. And I also think moments is super underwhelming right now because the rewards are pretty terrible. It's cool for new players because Wes comes in and he learns how to do the set pieces and he can learn how to play the game and do like these fun challenges and it kind of keeps him engaged. I liked it in the beginning, but the rewards are just not worth the grind. You might as well just do squad battles or division rivals. So for me, until moments gets better rewards, it basically doesn't exist. But that's just basically how I feel about the new stuff.
Big moments is that bad. It's not very time consuming for free stuff.
No, the packs are just terrible. And the pack weights aren't any better. Like the pack weights that you get from division rivals and squad battles are actually a little bit better. I feel like you get better
Yeah,
players out of them, but
Yeah.
and marquee matchups. But I think that the pack weights have been horrible on moments. Yeah. What else? What else do we have to talk about? What else? What else do you guys feel like we should talk about? Or something we haven't covered yet?
You haven't talked. You talk about FIFA or
Oh,
IRL?
SBCs. Yeah, SBCs. That's what I wanted to talk about. That was my next thing.
Okay.
What do you feel like has so far have been the best SBCs that they've come out with, and do you like how SBCs are looking so far this year? Wes, I'll start with you because you always do your SBCs. What do you think about the SBCs? What's your favorite one so far?
I honestly, I think my favorite was the 78 plus
Yeah.
untradeable one. I think that was the most useful for me because it really helped me like upgrade my team in several ways because I got like 40 packs from all the gold junk players that had in my inventory.
Yeah.
So it was nice because it upgraded my fodder basically. I thought that was very useful. I do like Rashford too. I thought that was worth it. Honestly, I like him.
Hmm.
He's just not as good as Ronaldo, so it's hard to use him. But
Yeah, I feel the same way. It's like kind of hard to use him once I've used Holland, Ronaldo, Gerd Muller. It's kind of hard to like go back to him now.
All
yeah,
right, you guys are complaining about a striker. It's hard after I use these guys. I'd probably be in love with them.
Yeah, but if you were in our position and you had the clubs we had, you'd know how we feel. It's kind of hard to fall back to a guy like that once you're using automatic strikers.
well, I'm about to use him because I'm broke.
What do you think are your best SBCs, Eddie?
What did I like? Obviously, I love the marquee matchups every year. They're never bad. But content wise, what have I let me go on Footbin right here and see everything that's kind of happened so
Also,
far
talk
this
about
year.
the ones that you like the least, because a lot of people are thumbsing down a lot of the SBCs this year.
Well,
People are
yeah,
very
that's just because they're bitches.
people on Footbin are
Yeah, they
They're
are.
so
liars.
pussy. They're so pussy, man. Honestly, they complain about everything. It's like this is too expensive. This is too cheap. It's like
I was
he
actually a
needs.
fan of Di Maria's thing. It was cheap, and Juve should get it. Argentina should get the win bonus, so it'll be an 86. And then I mean he's playing for Juve, so he should eventually get uh a thing, but hopefully it's sooner rather than later.
I disagree, but I'll talk about why in a second. But yeah, go ahead.
Um, I love the and it pretty much it's the Everdivisie
Yes.
uh SBCs. I think they're always worth it after last year.
Yep.
I didn't do it yet, but I think we're still going to do Kim Min Jae for
Yep.
the price. I don't think it's bad.
He's
I,
really good.
and then the only thing that sucks for him is he's Korean, so it doesn't help super much chem wise. But
No, he's also not on the best team.
yeah, and
Damn, Davies is dropping.
I did Cassie, but I haven't used him yet. But I think I will say this: I don't like that they made the all of the hybrid leagues, hybrid nations, hybrid league and nation hybrid made them all untradeable this year. That was kind of a little unfortunate and a little dumb in my opinion. But
Yes.
that's my take on the so far of the SBCs.
All right. I have done every single SBC in the game besides one, and there's a distinct reason for that, which I will explain in a minute. I think Kessie, I'll just go down them one by one. I think Kessie was good. I think he was overpriced. I don't think the card's that good. And I think that his stats are fraudulent. Thiago Silva was in my top three. I think he was awesome for player SBCs. My other two in the top three would be Federico Valverde and Kim Min Jae. Marcus Rashford doesn't make the cut here just because, like I said, I've used other better strikers. But my S rank above all of them has been Cody Gakpo. And that's why I didn't talk about him yet. Because for the value, he's easily the best card for coin value card in the entire game right now. He feels great on the ball. He's got really good stats. He's very cheap. He is easily one of the best players you can bring on in the second half of your Foot Champs games and your division rivals games. He slots in to any team because he's got stats in every area. His total stats are insanity for his rating. And it's month one. That card is nuts. And if you think otherwise, you are such a complainer because that card in month one of FIFA is so good. There's like you can't tell me it's not a good card.
And especially like last year, they make some good fun cards for the Bundesliga Player of the Month. Like if you do them, and they're like, I think by December, like the first 4 months of SBCs for the Everdivisie player was like I think it totaled to like would it be 4 months? I think it totaled to
mm,
like 55K or something like that. And they were all like fun, good
yep.
players, well rounded, like good
Kokchu was
statted
good.
players.
Kokchu was real good.
Exactly. So what was the other name? Who did Who was it? Who was it?
I know who you're talking about. Hold on.
Kudos.
Yeah.
Kudos had one, right?
Yeah.
Like
No.
it was just
They don't.
exactly. You got to look it up, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. One of the early ones that was solid. Like it was not bad at all.
Gus Till.
Till
Je-
was like eight. Till was like 6K. I will always say that card was worth it.
Jesper Carlson was really good.
Yes.
I liked that card. It was in December. It was a little late. Kokchu was also good. They had the one I think you're talking about is they had Sangare and Brewers. Yeah, so Brewers and Sangare were the two.
Yeah. Yes. But that's what I'm saying. Like all of them, like you were able to do all of them, and they were solid for next to nothing.
Yeah. So also I'm gonna say you're gonna actually disagree with me hard, but I think that changing those SBCs early on to untradeable was good, and the only reason why I agree with it is because yes, for the Foot web app, it made it harder to make coins, which I think sucks. But they gave you much better packs. So that allowed you to get and the pack
Yeah,
weights
they had the same packs as last year.
they had
Same pack
50 they
everywhere.
had 50k packs and 100k packs in there?
Yeah.
Really? Cuz they
Been like that for the last like 3 years.
everyone said that they buffed the packs. They buffed the packs, but they nerfed the tradability. That's what what the consensus
maybe
was.
Maybe for the league and hybrids. I guess maybe, but
Yeah, if
I
they didn't
still
buff the
wouldn't-
pack, if they didn't buff the packs, it's obviously an L. But I'm pretty sure they buffed the packs. But also, I want to give a shout out to the objectives this year. That's a rare EAW. They're giving out so many 50k packs and 100k packs this year already that are so easily accessible. So I actually really like them this year. I think that the objectives and the fact that you can kind of just go back and forth with your friends and grind out like bronze teams and silver teams on friendlies and do all that kind of stuff to get packs. I think that's really good. And also one of the 50k packs that I got from an objective was the one I got Gerd Muller in. So that's pretty good. I like that. Even if my packs weren't that good, the fact that I'm constantly able to fill my club up without having to buy FIFA points is so nice. I don't have to buy FIFA points and I can just continuously fill up my club. So that's super nice. Gakpo is amazing. I think that the dynamic duos is a waste. I think it sucks. I think for the price. Obviously, if you can add those guys in, they're cool. But they play for Marseille, and their nationalities aren't the best. I'm not. I'm just not a huge fan. Overall, but there's people out there who have done them. I haven't played against them yet, so maybe other people feel the same way. But I'm just not gonna do them. Because I've already put so many coins into, Fede Valverde, Kim and Jay, Marcus Rashford, Cody Gakpo, Thiago Silva, Kessie, doing all the other SBCs. So
they put out a lot of content early.
yeah, they did. Yeah, it's a little bit more than last year. It's a little bit more than last year. So they're continuously moving it up. I will also say that I feel like the power curve hasn't instantly shot up a million, and I don't think with Road to the knockouts that it will either. I think that it will. The power curve is going to kind of stay where it is for now. There's going to be probably a card or two that will be meta, but other than that, they're all going to probably be usable, and you can slot them right into a team. There's going to be cheap ones, there's going to be expensive ones, and they're going to be fun to use. I don't think they're going to completely change the power curve. I think the power curve is going to go haywire once the World Cup comes out, though. Personally.
Okay.
With the amount of SBCs that they're going to have, that's going to have packs. With the amount of player SBCs that they're going to do, with the amount of cards that they're going to release for International Man of the Match, I think that it's going to go insane. So that does SBCs. I think SBCs are good so far, though. They've had a good flow of content. I think gold upgrades are always fun to do. I think 78 plus upgrades were awesome. I got some pretty good players. I got Vinny out of that. But yeah, so next segment, Eddie's least favorite segment. What are your best pack pulls this year so far? I want to continuously do this throughout the year so we can talk about it and reflect when we look back on these episodes at the things that we pulled at those times. Start with US. What are your best pack pulls so far?
Probably Ronaldo. Also Neymar are my two. They're over $1 million in coins, and also my most favorite to play with. So I think they were excellent pulls.
This kid also
I've
got
had
damn Sterling and Rashford.
In the same pack,
In
and
the
then
same pack.
also got Cruz.
I got Modric and some other people too.
And he
And that
packed
was before
four.
they and that
Those
was
two are my
and that was before
favorite.
they price fixed Cruz.
And he
back down
packed
to-
4 ones to watch as well.
Yeah. I've had unlimited pack luck.
Eddie, go ahead.
Mine's gonna be because I don't pack a lot. Great, and it's got to be the team of the week, Modric.
Yeah, I mean, but he's so good. And see,
Oh,
I like that because you'll actually use him. You're not just going to
I
instantly
have
sell
used him.
him. You know what I mean? Like, you use him. You're not going to just instantly sell him like a lot of people would do with their cards. So, what else? What else have you pulled that was good this year? You've pulled a couple things that were decent, no?
Mignon. Pulled Mignon. Pulled Lukaku. Brozovic. Alfonso Davies. I packed him. That was cool, but he's untradeable. Most of my I packed Rafinha. That was cool. That was day one. That was nice. And I think that was probably it for my big hitters all unpacked.
I'll go down my whole list so far. Tyler Adams one to watch was cool, I guess. But I mean, he's not worth anything, and he's not going to ever be really that good. Let me look at rating high to low. Cristiano Ronaldo, obviously tradable. That was incredible. Me and Wes both packed tradable Ronaldo. Gerd Muller is my number one, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I packed Harry Kane 3 times already from 78 plus upgrades. Which, you know, he's not an expensive pull, but it's just cool to get an 89 in the club. Koulibaly, I got out of an upgrade. Vinicius Jr., Kingsley Coman, Memphis Depay. I just pulled Hakimi today. And I pulled Tolisso, but I immediately sold him for like 12K. He sucks. And I also pulled Kimpembe from a 78 plus upgrade as well. Yeah, that's about it. I also pulled Zaha as well when he was back when he was extinct at 15K, and then I sold him for 22, and then I bought another one for 14 and sold him for 24. So that was cool. But yeah, my pack luck this year has been absolutely insane. And then the final thing I want to do to wrap it up, unless you guys have something in mind that you want to talk about, is there any things that you guys want to talk about in specific so far at your first week of FIFA? What do you want to talk about? What's on your mind? What have you been thinking about that you want to bring to the podcast?
That's good for me for now.
I love the
think
game.
I'm good too.
I love the
Yeah,
game.
I'm a big fan.
My biggest thing that I hate though is auto defending. The fact that I'll be surrounded by 3 defenders and they'll all just tackle me at once is very annoying. And the fact that defenders will come up from behind me and turn around and tackle me and win the ball. Just like take it or wait, like literally come from behind me. They'll press the tackle button, they'll reach around, grab the ball, and then just walk away. And that happens constantly. And the fact that when I have like I don't care about these pace styles. Like I understand they should be a part of the game, but when I have Gerd Muller, an 84 pace striker, 15 yards away in on goal, and everyone instantly collapses on me, that sucks ass. That's so ridiculous. And there's nothing I can do. I think that's so dumb. But that's about it. The last thing I want to talk about is the first promo now that it's coming into the closing time here. Wes, do you think that Wants to Watch was a W or an L promo?
I think it's overhyped. Personally, I don't really understand the point. Like I guess they're supposed to improve over the weeks, but I haven't seen that yet. So
Well, yeah, because it's been Holland just got an upgrade.
They have to win 3 out of 7 games, get an
3 out of
inform,
8.
and then their nation has to win a game during the World Cup. So it's gonna take a little while.
Okay.
Oh, and Fekir was also insane for me, by the way. Fekir is amazing, and you should also pick him up, Wes. Eddie, you'd love him. But yeah, go ahead, Eddie. W or L promo?
That's a W. I like it. I think it's very good, and I'm very glad that they added the Nations Watch into it this year.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that as well. I'm gonna go ahead and give a controversial L here, and here's why. Because the pack that they gave us, first of all, was rigged. 99% of the packs are going to be Schlotterbeck, Tyler Adams, or Taliso. We knew that going in, and I understand that, but the weight on that pack was absolutely ridiculous. And the fact that I spent $20 extra to get a Team of the Week pack that gave me a 78 rated Team of the Week. No, but I saw 2 people get a decent Team of the Week. I didn't see anybody get the best ones. Then they gave us the ones to watch pack that gave us shitty ones to watch for the $20 extra. And now the World Cup Heroes, I can't imagine we're going to get a good card in that. So I think that the ones to watch, I think the pack weight to actually even pull any of the ones to watch in a pack was absolutely absurd. I pulled Gerd Muller, Cristiano Ronaldo, Hakimi, multiple walkouts, Harry Kane, all those cards, and pulled 2 ones to watch, and they were Tyler Adams and Tolisso. That card weight is ridiculous. That's insanity. I mean, it's so hard to get one. But the W facet of it is that it doesn't really change the power curve. It's the perfect promo to start off, and it's a good one for people who invest. Because you can buy, let's say you buy 20 Tolisos for 10K. He's going to go up to 15 if he gets an upgrade. He plays for France. He's going to get an upgrade. So he's going to get probably, he'll probably go to 15K, and then you can go make, your 100K off that. So it's good for investments. But overall, I don't know. Like Wes said, it's kind of a boring promo. But Road to the Knockouts really ramps things up, and I think it's exciting.
See, I think Road to Knockouts is going to be an L this year.
Why is that?
Because we're already halfway through the group. Like, you already have 3 clubs that are pretty much through.
Right. So, I mean,
So, like,
yeah.
Like, there's no, like, road to the knockout. They've already made the knockout. You know what I mean? By next week, they will have made the knockout. Like, some of them, all they have to do is draw, and they've made knockout stage.
I'm okay with that,
So,
though. I'm okay with that, though, because...
I'm not. That makes it not fun. Like, the whole point of it is, which also means they might not have certain players from them teams that you would think of, because they're already going to have made it. So they're already getting the upgrade. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, in that degree, I get that, but it's hard not to be hyped about it because there's usually a couple cards that are demons that even if they don't get upgrades, they're still like last year. Renato Sanchez's card was incredible. I actually got him in an untradeable pack, and he was like 1.4 mil at the time. I didn't even put a chemistry style on him, and he was easily the best player on my team.
Yes, but he also had a chance to still go up. Like, there's like, if say you get somebody from a team that, like, now who's a team that should Atletico Madrid, you get a Yao Felix card. He could have had a chance. Now they're sitting on like nothing.
But
it's very hard for them.
You're thinking about this the wrong way, though, in my opinion, because for players like you, it works perfectly because now that he's not going to go through and get an upgrade, he's actually going to be cheaper than he normally would be, and that's going to be a good card, regardless. So an 87. So you're going to be mad that you can afford an 87 João Felix?
Who said he's going to be an 87?
Well, what is he now? 84?
Yeah.
Yeah, they usually go up to 87 or 88. They usually have them pretty high. I mean, they're usually between 86. They're usually between 86 and 90. Like, the best ones will be like a 90 or like an 88.
And that's also a lot further in the season because this year's on an accelerated timetable.
Dude, that card as an 86 would be nuts. My point is that like the cards that got the good teams that might not make it through, they're going to be a lot cheaper. And they're going to be more affordable, and that allows you to actually engage more with the promo, in my opinion. Now, granted, yes, it takes the fun out of it. Don't get me wrong. It takes the fun out of the dynamicism. That's okay, though. Because for me, that's never what that promo was about anyway, because the good cards are just good.
That's literally the name of the promo is Road to the Knockout.
I get that, but for me personally...
No. You literally said that defeats the point of it. That's literally the point of it is Road to the Knockout.
Right, at face value. At face value, yes. That takes all the gambling, investments, and all the fun of who's going to get upgraded out of it, yes. But at the same time, last year, the cards that were good were just good. Like, before the upgrades. So once they got the upgrades, it was cool. So now it's going to drive the price down to the players who aren't going to make it. I mean, let's look at this table again. So, like, Barcelona. Barcelona might get a fucking 88 or 87 Pedri. And that card's only going to be 100K.
It's not going to be Pedri.
But I'm saying it could be. And it would be a card that would easily be 500K. And now it's only going to be 100K. So now I can afford that card. Or you have a card on, like...
then we're back at the point that it's just giving out pointless cards.
I don't think, but like a Tenali, a Road to the Knockout Tenali that you can upgrade your Tenali now for 100K. You can upgrade to a beast ass Tenali. That's not worth it.
It just
So I mean, look, it's gonna be. I mean, I'll give it an L. I don't give a fuck. I'll give it an L. That's okay. But I mean, the cards are gonna be affordable. And here's my thing: the World Cup is gonna be nuts. Plus, they also said that they're already going to add new promos to the game. So there's gonna be new promos we've never seen before. So the one after Road to the Knockouts is the one that usually changes first, right? Because it was Scream, then Rule Breakers, which I really hope they get rid of. So you're not excited at all for Road to the Knockouts?
not at all.
I really hope they don't give one to Mbappe. This dude, they're gonna give him. They give him so many non-performance based cards too, on top of everything else. But I also hope they don't give it to Renata, which they probably won't. But I hope they don't on top of it though, because they like to give him cards too. I don't know. I think
this card.
Mastavoy. Oh, this boy wants a hero so bad. He bought Mastavoy. Yeah, I know you bought him. Let me see. What chem style are they saying? But yeah, I don't know. I agree that it's going to take a lot of the excitement out of it. But this year with the condensed schedule, the fact that they're not two teams now, there's a team and then a mini release, right? A couple days after, I kind of like that too, because spreading it out through 2 weeks really kind of sucked for me. Because it's like, which week do I want to buy into? And then it's like, well, I kind of got to fucking load up for both weeks and then not get any of them. I think the SBCs. So here's the thing though. I think the SBCs, they're going to make teams that are pretty much shoo-ins to make it. And they'll put in players that people can afford. So I'm excited for that.
See, I think it's going to be the opposite. They're going to be people that they know are going to make it, so they're going to make the SBCs expensive.
Or they could put people who aren't going to make it at all and make them reasonably priced, but really juice up the cards. So they could actually put the cards on steroids this year and make them 90s, which would really fuck the market.
I just don't see a way in which this promo really is a W.
Yeah, it was kind of set up to fail this year. But overall, to me, it still depends on the cards, because there could be a lot of exciting cards that I really want to use. And now they're going to be more affordable, which is nice because all the cards you want to use this year so far aren't very affordable. I mean, let's be honest. Like Xabi Alonso, for example, he's on the screen on Wes's stream right now. I want to use him. Like, I want to try him because he's a new icon. But he's so expensive because he's a new icon. But his card doesn't look that good. So I'm not going to splash out the coins on him because no one's going to buy it. So I'm going to lose a lot of coins on that. So having some nice juiced up affordable cards wouldn't be such a bad idea to me overall. But I think the World Cup is going to completely.
You're saying that they're going to be affordable. You're just saying they're going to be affordable.
You don't think? I mean, if the whole thing is that cards were so much more expensive when people had thought they might get an upgrade, so there's hype. Now that there's not as much hype, I feel like they're probably going to be more affordable, and they may even juice them up a little bit more, just so that they can still remain relevant. But it also depends on who they give cards to.
I was gonna say, but also at the time, typically when they got their upgrades and came out, there was more promos, so that their juiced up was a little higher. Now you're just having them juiced up and already going to be the best cards on the market, arguably at that time. I'm just not seeing how this is going to be an L. I mean a W.
Yeah, well, let's see how they do it. My hype level's at about a 5 or 6 for it until I start seeing who they reveal, and if they reveal cards that I'm excited to use, then it could be like a 7 or 8. But it will not be a 10. Last year it was kind of a 10 though, because they had a lot of good cards. They had Renato Sanchez, they had the Bernardo Silva SBC, they had Gareth Bale as a striker, which was a really good card for like the entire year. So, and they also had Mahrez as well, which if Mahrez got the full upgrade was going to be like insane. But yeah, is there anything else that you guys would like to add? Any cards that you're looking forward to possibly using this year, or anything that you want to talk about in the next couple weeks of FIFA or anything like that?
Trying to get Conte.
Trying to get Conte. All right. Do you guys have anything you want to plug?
I'm chilling.
All right. So if you look in the description below, you'll find my YouTube and you will find the playlist for the Delco FC podcast. On my YouTube, I upload my pack openings and I do my FIFA content and stuff like that as well. If you guys have any ideas or any suggestions for the podcast, let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for anybody who's watched the podcast. I appreciate the support so much. Once we start to put a little bit more episodes out there, I will be looking to put the podcast on Spotify. Thank you very much for anybody, again, who's supported Delco FC podcast. I'm Dan, joined by Eddie and Wes, and I hope you guys have a good one and take it easy.